We thought we were just solving a technical problem, but then our engineers were followed home, their computers were stolen, and our factory was ram-raided. Literally overnight, our servers were ripped out of our building, every engineering computer was taken, and all our filing cabinets, even full of our drawings, vanished. Years of research were gone. No, this is not, sadly, the plot of the latest Netflix drama, although if you want to talk movie rights, I've got a booth over here, come and see me afterwards. This is in fact the very real-world result of us introducing a new technology that threatened to disrupt a century-old, slow-moving industry. This is an industry that we actually struggle to live without. It forms more emissions, it causes more emissions than all cars and planes combined. And yet, even in circles like this, we rarely talk about it. I'm Sam Ringwaldt, CEO and co-founder of Conry Tech, and I'm talking about air conditioning, an industry I've been working to make more sustainable for the last 20 years. Air conditioning forms the invisible backdrop of our everyday life. We move from one air conditioning box to another as we go from our homes to our cars to our offices, and yet we recognise that comfort is no longer a luxury. Comfort helps us learn more effectively, work better, heal faster, even sleep better, very important. But we rarely stop to think about what is the cost of our comfort. Comfort actually takes 60% of the energy of a building and is responsible for about 15% of global emissions. These staggering numbers mean that there's more, as I said, than all cars and planes combined, and it's an area that we really need to focus on. Ironically, air conditioning is an industry that is both contributing to global warming and is our last line of defence against it. And this demand is causing 10 new air conditioners to be installed every second from now till 2050, which is 864,000 new air conditioning systems being installed every single day. Now, despite this scale and impact, the HVAC industry has seen very little real innovation. It has always set its own rules. It rewards legacy designs and it locks out better ideas. This means that even the most well-intentioned building owner really struggles to buy equipment that can serve either them or the environment well. But this is not new information. In 1987, the world momentously gathered to sign the Montreal Protocol, phasing out refrigerants that were impacting our ozone layer. Yet despite this brief moment in the proverbial spotlight, the air conditioning industry barely blinked and certainly did not alter course. Fortunately, my co-founder, Ron Conry, sprung into action, and he set about designing a compressor that would harness the next generation of refrigerants, that would unlock incredible efficiency gains in air conditioning. And it was this compressor, which is missing from here, it was this compressor that the industry came to steal. You know, they really stole our computers, they stole the drawings, they left cash because they were trying to steal our future. But fortunately, the most important secrets were still in our heads. We couldn't rely on the incumbents to bring this technology to market. And they were unwilling to change, and so we had to forge our own path. And if I had more time today, I could regale you with stories of dragging a mobile showroom around North America, showing this compressor to everyone from a service tech to NASA engineers, building owners to governors. Ultimately, we managed to wrestle the market away from those incumbents. And that compressor that we built in our previous venture now has over 60% global market share, cools billions of square feet of buildings, and has already saved over a gigaton of CO2 emissions. But even that compressor was really only a small iterative change on an industry that has had the same approach for 100 years. So let's fast forward to today. This is a room you've probably not been into in your buildings, but in all of your commercial buildings, there's a room somewhere with some giant machines that are pumping water and air around your entire building. It is the hope of these systems, as it has been for 100 years, that these uniform conditions would somehow leave all of you comfortable. And yet, I'm sure you've all experienced, as I have, some rooms that are way too hot and stuffy, or other rooms that are freezing, because these centralised systems really struggle to deal with the dynamics of a building. As people move in and out of spaces, as the sun moves across a building, as rooms like this empty and fill, these systems that are centralised really can't deal with that high variability in a building. So these inefficiencies, combined with the growth in air conditioning demand, are resulting in grids that are really being strained under pressure, especially in summer and winter. And we saw that this summer in Spain. This has prompted some governments to start taking some really radical actions. Like in Beijing, they instituted the cool police that would go in and make sure your building was not getting overcooled. You've got other governments that are legislating mandated thermostat set points, minimising and maximising what you can do for your heating and cooling by legislation. You've got others that are making recommendations that are really starting to sacrifice our comfort for the sake of sustainability. However, all of these things are really blunt instruments that are really addressing the symptoms of the problem, but not the system itself. So 5 years ago, we started asking ourselves some simple questions. What if comfort did not have to be sacrificed for sustainability? What if comfort could be delivered with precision, exactly where and when we needed it? What if we could make systems that were modular, small and lightweight, so that we could upgrade buildings and retrofit them without having to tear them apart? What if heating and cooling could be fully electric, so that they could help ride out the energy curve? And what if buildings could be turned into thermal batteries, storing cool or warm at the right time of day to really help the grid? And finally, what if we measured success not by the size of the equipment, but by how comfortable people are in buildings that are using far less energy? This matters far beyond a single building or a city or even a country. The world is on track to install literally billions of new air conditioning units. And the choices that we make today are going to lock in energy demand for generations. Without a rethink, this is a recipe for rolling blackouts, higher bills, and critically avoidable emissions. In countries like India, Indonesia, and Africa, air conditioning growth is needed to not only save lives, but to unlock economic development. And we need cooling that's affordable, resilient, radically more efficient from the start, so emerging markets can leapfrog the mistakes that we've made. Now, I've been fortunate to help change this industry once already, and what I learned is simple. Do not accept that it can't be done. Question the assumptions that your industries hold. Like in ours, why has the same temperature been used for 100 years? Invite every team member to be part of the innovation. Explore ideas and then pursue the best one relentlessly. Software and AI are great. They help show you where the problems are often, but it's going to take deep tech and hardware to really solve these problems. So here's the vision that I want to leave you with. In 20 years, air conditioning is no longer a climate liability, but a climate solution. Buildings are going to feel better to be in whilst using far less energy. They will align with renewables, storing energy electrically and thermally when the sun is shining or the wind is blowing, reducing stress on the grid instead of adding to it. And we will have arrested the projected surge in global energy demand from air conditioning by choosing smarter systems and smarter standards. And we will have done it without asking any of you to be less comfortable. In fact, we will have made buildings actually comfortable for all. We do not have to choose between comfort and climate. We can do both if we are willing to rethink that system. And that is what my team and I at Conry Tech are doing. We're reinventing air conditioning to improve our comfort whilst making it actually sustainable. So I hope you'll help me. Thank you.